Act 1, Scene 9. Month 6, Hospital Ward. Late afternoon. Lisa and the teens surround Stephanie, who's lying in her street clothes, moving in pain on top of the covers of her bed. Moans ramping up into cries, then subsiding back into moans. With faces wrung with worry and concern, the teens stand helplessly by as Lisa tries to soothe and comfort the suffering girl. Chris rushes in, pulling the stethoscope out of her lab coat pocket as she hurries to Stephanie's side. She listens to her heart, then checks her eyes with a penlight. "How long?" she asks. 7 minutes, Lisa replies. Greg steps closer, anxiety clouding his face. "Is she going to be okay?" His voice is a little shaky. Lorca and Neil step closer too, their eyes on their friend. "Kids," Lisa orders, "go to the day room now. Let the doctor do her work." The teens are reluctant to go, so Lisa herds them out of the room, then returns. Chris speaks loudly and firmly. "Stephanie, I'm going to give you something to relax your muscles and calm you down. You're having a level 3 attack." She nods to Lisa, who gives Stephanie an injection. Quickly, her painful shifting begins to settle down. Chris rechecks her heart, listening for changes. "Is that feeling any better?" Chris asks. "Uh-huh," Stephanie murmurs weakly. "Good. You should be able to sleep now, but when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be extremely sore. That's normal for this kind of attack. We'll give you meds for that later." "Thank you," Stephanie whispers. "I'm sorry." "You just rest now," Chris says. "Lisa, please get her settled." Lisa nods and Chris leaves, and the lights dim to black. When the lights come up again, it's early evening of the same day. The room is bathed in sunset colors coming through the window. Stephanie is in a hospital gown, sleeping peacefully under her covers. The boys are not there. Lorca stands at her easel in front of the window. She glances up at the sunset, then back at her painting. Frowning with concentration, she mixes the colors from the wells of her palette and dips her brush into the jar of water by her feet. She's laying down a thin wash of pale, rosy gold. Quietly, Greg enters the room and goes immediately to Stephanie to check on her. He studies her for a moment, then, satisfied that she's resting comfortably, he steps over to where Lorca is painting. "That's really beautiful," he murmurs. "I thought you were going to play Death Drop in the day room with Neil," says Lorca without looking away from her painting. "I was, but I couldn't get into the game. I wanted to be here." He turns and looks at Stephanie. "Boy, the poor thing is really out of it. Glad she's going to be okay." "No thanks to you," Lorca says curtly. "So now you're blaming me? Like I forced her? She wanted to go." Lorca looks at him sharply. "Give me a break, Greg. Stephanie would never do something like that on her own." "What, eat pizza?" "No, sneak out of the hospital to do something that jeopardizes her condition." "It was just pizza," he retorts. "It's just pizza to the rest of the world, not to us," Lorca says. Frowning, she puts down her palette. "We're on a strict diet because we're seriously ill and our systems are fragile. Can't you understand that? Every little thing we do or don't do makes a huge difference. You went through the screening process, you know what's expected of us, and you agreed to it. If you can't handle it, why don't you just leave?" Turning away from him, she furiously swirls her brush in the water jar and lays it flat on the towel at her feet. Greg keeps his voice low, but his words are more forceful now. "Hey, maybe you didn't have a life before this, but I did, and excuse me if I'm finding it a little hard to let go of. I thought if I could just get out and do something normal, I would feel, I don't know, normal, like I wasn't sick anymore. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be free from that for a while." Lorca is not impressed with this logic. So you break the rules to what? Be free? The rules that are there to help you, maybe keep you alive longer? Grimly, he waves her objections away. Living longer isn't living, Lorca. Real life has spark, energy, adventure. I'm tired of having no future. The way things are now, I don't even have a present. I can't survive in this box. I've got to break out, even if it kills me. And it just might, she mutters. I don't care, he says, looking at her darkly. I had dreams. I was supposed to A, travel the world, B, find the perfect woman, C, settle down and raise a family, and D, be an old man with lots of grandkids, hobbling my way into the sunset with the love of my life. Not waste away in a little room eating perfect food just so I can live a few days longer. So I say eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Not me, Lorca declares, wiping her hands on a rag. I want to grasp life at its depth. What does that mean? Greg asks, looking at her intently. It sounds deep. Did you make it up? No, it's from Vincent van Gogh. The ear-chopping guy? Greg scoffs. He didn't grasp life. He couldn't even handle it. He killed himself. That's not the point, Lorca retorts. He faced his troubles fiercely. He didn't run away or try to pretend they weren't there. You can see it in his paintings. Pure, true colors, exposed, naked, and unabashed with no apologies. Out of his turmoil, he made masterpieces. Greg shakes his head. He only sold one painting his whole life? You don't get it, Lorca contends fiercely. He didn't choose the easy way. He was willing to really look at the hardships and sorrows of life, wrestling them into images of breathtaking beauty. That's how I want to approach my remaining days. Whatever comes, I want to face it head on, with my eyes wide open. I want to embrace it, even the suffering. That way, it's my choice. I'm not a victim whining and complaining because I didn't get what I wanted. I choose to grasp my life at its depth, whatever comes. Greg looks at Lorca intently for a long moment. Okay, he says, stepping closer to her. Here's something to grasp. Lorca eyes him suspiciously, but does not back away. Keeping his eyes on hers, he puts his hand gently on her cheek, and their lips meet in a tender kiss. Lorca backs away, trembling. Have you lost your mind? She says. Greg grins. Hey, I'm grasping life at its depth. I'm crazy about you, Lorca. I'm tired of waiting for the right time to let you know. So now you know, and you can face it head on with your eyes wide open. Oh, you have lost your mind, says Lorca. Let's get one thing straight. I have no intention of ending up another unusual name on your long list of silly infatuations. Greg grins. Too late. You're already on it.